Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? Who is leading the polls? Who will be the 47th president of the US? Will the US get its first female president, or will Donald Trump return as president again? Around 240 million Americans are eligible to vote for this year's race to the White House. Some have already cast their vote during early voting. The remaining polls will be held on November 5th. Let's see what the latest polls say ahead of the voting. In the final stretch, Kamala Harris's lead over Donald Trump looks something like this. Harris is ahead by 1 point percentage over Donald Trump at 44, while Trump is at 43. However, Harris's marginal lead over Trump might not be enough to win the election, even if it holds through November 5th. That is because of electoral college votes. Now, this data is according to the latest Reuters Ipsos poll. It looks like an extremely close fight between the two leaders. The poll also indicates that Harris's lead has steadily declined since late September. A previous Reuters Ipsos poll from October 16 showed Harris leading Trump by 2 points. On the issue of economy, unemployment and jobs, voters picked Trump. Trump has had an edge on the issue of economy throughout the campaign, and 26% of the voters in the latest poll cited jobs and the economy as the country's most pressing problem, compared to 24% who cited political extremism and 18% who pointed to immigration. The biggest issue that Trump seems to have an edge on is immigration. He's put forward some radical ideas like mass deportations of illegal migrants. According to the survey, some 48% voters said that his approach was the best, as opposed to just 33% who agreed with Kamala Harris's stance. As the US presidential election approaches close, Kamala Harris has put more emphasis on the economic issues and the reproductive rights, whereas Donald Trump has focused on inflation and immigration. As I said, that Harris's marginal lead over Trump might not be enough to win the election, even if it holds through November 5. Remember, Trump had defeated Democrat Hillary Clinton in the 2016 elections despite losing the popular vote by over 2.9 million votes. That's because he won the Electoral College votes. If you want to understand how Electoral College works, watch CNBC-TV18's video explaining the entire process. The link is in the description. So far, many polls have shown that Harris and Trump are in a neck-and-neck fight in the battleground states or swing states. This is a term that you would hear quite often during the US election coverage. A swing state is a state that could swing to either Democratic or Republican candidates depending on the election. Now, which are these 7 states? They are Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Michigan, Arizona, Wisconsin and Nevada. In the 7 battleground states, neither Harris nor Trump have a definitive lead, as polls in these states are very tight. Candidates, therefore, tend to invest a great deal of resources in attracting voters in these states. Since the 1988 election, 20 states have voted for the same party in the presidential election. Of these 20 states, only 3, Minnesota, Oregon and Washington, have ever had close elections. As per American website 538's daily poll tracker, Harris is maintaining a slim lead in Michigan and a razor-thin advantage in Nevada and Wisconsin. Meanwhile, Trump holds a slight advantage over Harris in Pennsylvania and has a more significant lead in North Carolina, Arizona and Georgia. The margins are very tight. If you talk about the overall picture, the 538 data shows that Kamala Harris is in the lead in the national polls at 48.1%, whereas Trump is lagging behind at the moment at 46.7%. According to the New York Times, Harris is enjoying a 1-point lead over Trump at 49 to 48%. It's important to note that Harris has enjoyed a major lead over Donald Trump since she was announced and endorsed as a Democrat candidate after Joe Biden's exit from the race. However, since late September onwards, the vice president's lead has shrunk, making the race to the White House a very close contest.
Thank you for watching us on CNBC TV18. For all news and updates, subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch us on all social media platforms.